Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a tiered dress. Now this one is a bit different from the other dress that I made, which is on my channel. This one, the layers are separated. You can check out that video if you haven't. So let's get started. For the top part of the dress, we're going to be using our front bodice and back bodice pattern. For the neckline, I used a round neck. Now for the skirt, we're going to draft our skirt pattern on a piece of paper depending on the length of your dress, and then we're going to divide it into 3 layers. So it can be 3 equal layers or not equal layers depending on what you're going for. For mine, the first layer was 8 inches and the second layer 10 inches and the third layer 12 inches. Now from where you drew the first layer line, you're going to go up by 1.5 inches. This is for the underskirt. And I'm going to use a broken line just to differentiate between the two lines. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other line. Measure 1.5 inches upward and draw a line. Then cut out the pattern. Now we're going to cut the pattern on the underskirt line because we actually need, that's what we need this pattern for. We're going to get rid of this part, we're not using it again. Then we're going to cut the other underskirt line. It's going to be 2 pieces. That's it for the pattern. We're going to cut out 1 piece on fold for the front top. Then for the back, we're going to cut out 2 pieces. Make sure to transfer your dots. Then for the underskirt, I added 1/2 inch seam allowance to the top and bottom and 3/4 of an inch seam allowance to the side seam. Then you're going to cut out 1 piece on fold for the front and 2 pieces plus 1 inch zipper allowance for the back. For the second part of the underskirt, you're going to add seam allowance as you did the other one. Then we're going to cut out 2 pieces on fold, one for the front and one for the back skirt. Now this is the two of them just together, just showing you that one has seam allowance for zip and one doesn't have. For the first ruffle layer, the width is going to be your waist measurement times 1.5, while the length is going to be the length of the ruffle, that was 8 inches, plus 1 inch for allowance. And for the second ruffle layer, it's going to be the 10 inches that we got, plus 1.5 inches for the underskirt and 1 inch for allowance. Then the width is going to be your hip measurement times 2. For the third layer, the length is going to be 12 inches plus 1.5 inches that we took out for the underskirt, then plus 1 inch for allowance. And the width is your hip measurement times 2.5. Now on the front bodice, we're going to fold over the dart, pin it and sew it. After doing that, we're going to repeat the same process for the back top. Now lay the front on the back with right sides facing and join the shoulders. Now we're going to be making use of a bias tape. This is a 1/2 inch cotton bias and we're going to be using it to finish the raw edge of the neckline. So we're going to open it up like so and attach the 1/4 inch to the neckline first. After sewing it, we're going to fold it over and make a stitch on the right side of the fabric. When you're done, press it with your steam iron so that it lays down nicely. Then we're going to put the fabric together with right side facing at the side seam. I'm going to pin it and sew it. Now we've put the top part together, we're going to keep this aside and work on the skirt part. Now for the skirt, this is the first part of the underskirt. We're going to fold over the dart, pin it and sew it. Now we're done with the front. We're going to repeat the same thing for the back. After doing that, we're going to sew the front and the back together at the side seam. So just pin it and sew it. Now this is the second part of the underskirt, and we're going to join the front and the back together at the side seam, just like we did for the previous one. Then I used a chalk to make a mark to know the top part of the skirt, so I won't be confused. Okay, this is the first layer of the ruffle, and we're going to fold over the edge of the fabric twice and sew it. Then you're going to make a basting stitch on one end of the fabric at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Now we're going to pin the edge of the ruffle to the underskirt, leaving out 1 inch for a zipper allowance. Then pulling on the bobbin thread, we're going to gather the fabric till it fits the length of the underskirt. Try to make the gathers to be as even as possible. Then sew a straight stitch to secure both of them together. Now we're going to attach the top part to this first layer. So you're going to pin it with right side facing. Make sure that you match up the side seams and the darts while pinning it. Then sew a straight stitch. This is what it should be looking like now. Then we're going to turn the dress over, and on the underskirt, on the down part, we're just going to sew a straight stitch of 1 inch. And when you're done, this is what it should look like. Now moving on to the second ruffle layer, we're going to pin the edge together and sew it to form one loop. Right, then as usual, make a basting stitch on the top of the fabric, and we're going to gather this to fit the top of the skirt. Fold the underskirt in two and use a pin to mark the center back, because we're going to align it to where we join the ruffle. So that point where you mark at the center back, as you're going to pin where you joined the ruffle fabric, then you're just going to gather it to fit the skirt. And after you're done, you're going to make a stitch to sew it together to the underskirt. Then we're going to attach the second layer to the top underskirt. So you're going to match up the center back and your side seams, then pin it and sew it. And this is what you should have now. Then for the third layer, we're going to just repeat the same process. We're going to gather the ruffle to the other part of the underskirt. Just as we did for the second layer, just repeat the same process, gather everything together and sew it together nicely. And this is it now. I'm done. I've put all the layers together. After doing that, we're going to use an invisible zipper to close the center back. So go on ahead and attach your invisible zipper to the center back. Now I'm going to be hemming the layers. So I'm going to be folding it twice and then sewing it. But if you have an overlocker, you can make a rolled hem stitch on the edge of the fabric. That's if you don't have time to start folding it one by one, because it takes a lot of time. So you can do that, or you can fold it over and sew it. Then I went ahead to cut out my sleeves and sew it together. And after doing that, I'm just going to attach the sleeve to the dress. And that's it, guys. The dress is ready. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, leave comments.